Brother, I'm still on the floor. So you see something. Now you come to the big push. We are saying that, look, yes, we talked about sole sourcing. We said that we will reduce the abuse. Then you pick about 100 or so contracts and you challenge us that, look, you said you were going to improve the abuse. We said you were going to stop the abuse, reduce the abuse. But we see that you are doing the same thing. And then you look at it and we say, wait a minute.
Minya, mamena was saying, I'm about hot crash be a coso ever join this program. So, Minya, a enough form. Now, some back one medical aka, and the actual politicians, and they say, Cecilia no baby a year druno. So, oh, can't say be a good internet no swa. So, opposition no, so a by moon. Now, what you want to say, because once someone will become a dear guhono, dachi. You baby saw the same thing, a be our bebre and son away to me a year no. Tamwana NPP or more ewo abayemono. Ye free be say so sourcing say ye the contract be e ma obi na ya advertises our contract no ya fro bi na ye di amano eno na everyone say so sourcing no it na ya dey according to NDC for no almost say NPP for ye pa na sa dey no so eboa ema corruption ekoso nti na wo hwe honorable Sami Jemfi ewo NDC 360 so a na o kasa ensem no na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kro ba abayemono akọ parliament 2 times. Say 2 times ni na no o kan so sourcing ho asem. We and a contract be a omode ma rose contract a big push projects omo air mano according to Fourth Estate omo media house almost say all those contract na omode air mano omo twin NDC ministers no Honorable Kwame Agbajamo J document be a chere contract na omo MI no say be a omo advertise and I say omo true sourcing na according to omo no na omo hwe Honorable Sami Jemfi ne nkrofo a omo NDC mu na omo opposition nsem omo kaaye fa so sourcing ho in the same mo ba ban mu a ye be hwehwemu afa mo aban no ehun sem so de mo kan etiaye no enu bi na mo ye anase mo ye different na omo report omo de ba abonte no na enu kire say the NDC for omo kasa etiaye emra na omo opposition no the same thing ena omo so we ena omo de beto abonte na NDC for say omo enti ase because ne omo kasa etiaye the abuse of so sourcing na omo ankasa enti so sourcing eti we ena Alhassan Suhuyini one Fourth Estate for director aye friend say Sulemana Braima omo akwakohia ewo news program so na menua esewani ensese me ameti hei ena meka sa asem wi de akireo banta mu banta ena ekoso mema meka sa enye tintin ma yenko ne yenkotie ensemu a ekoso na wankasa sa wo hwe video no ewia ena obehu the kind of politicians we are living in this country with so omo opposition omo nsemo mbeka no different so omo ba aban mu so a suban no better de no na different but they try their best to defend what they are not supposed to defend. Mayenko na yenko he video no ubi na watch wadwi e comment section ho unya subscribe ya message so subscribe like video na share ma bi no so unya bi enhwe better was say yanko position na onka ho yenko na yenko he video.
Brother, I'm still on the floor. So you see something. Now you come to the big push. We are saying that, look, yes, we talked about sole sourcing. We said that we will reduce the abuse. Then you pick about 100 or so contracts and you challenge us that, look, you said you were going to improve the abuse. We said you were going to stop the abuse, reduce the abuse. But we see that you are doing the same thing. And then you look at it and we say, wait a minute, we are not doing exactly what you claim we are doing. Even though, yes, we may have to still do better, but we are not doing what you are saying. It is not like disagreeing with you. For example, you take about 81 projects, and we are telling you that some of these 81 projects are just old projects that we have simply put on a budget, a dedicated budget. And let me explain how that can get confusing.
You have renegotiated. The minister said, your boss says you have novated them.
Yes, we have novated them. Now, we have 3 funding sources at the ministry. You have the road fund, which you can use to procure and pay from. You have the GOG, which you can use to procure and pay from. And now, we have the big push account, which you can use to procure. Now, when we took over, these about 23 contracts were procured under GOG. Now, they were not paid. Contractors who had worked on those projects were not paid, and many of them had abandoned site. So we decided that because of the critical nature of these roads, let's migrate them onto the big push account. They definitely in that migration, you definitely need to sign a document. And so when you see the minister's signature on a document that migrates a project, an existing project, from GOG to Big Push, it does not make it a new contract. And you see, I don't want to use the absurdity, but the confusion in my mind is that, look, you have, for example, the Accra Nsawam Road. You had Maripoma on it. Maripoma had done work, I think, more than 40% or 50%. And he was not paid. He was owed. Now, is it being suggested to us that we should have terminated the contract and advertised the works before we can award to a new contractor?
I don't get your point.
No, exactly.
I don't get your point.
But I thought what he just raised can be an exception, and a permission for the soul.
No, I'm giving the exception. That's where I'm getting to. That's where
No, hold on.
Can I address it? Can I address
gentlemen,
contractual disputes?
No, it's not a dispute. It's not a dispute. You govern the contract. But I started by telling you about the different sources of awarding contract. And so when you are changing the source, you can't leave the contract the way
the contractor has nothing to do about you changing the source.
Absolutely.
So in your records, you do proper classification of it.
Exactly.
In your record, you are still classifying some of these things as an award. From what
exactly. You are making a mistake.
And so it is improper.
So I am saying you inherit the contract.
Wait a minute, they have novated it.
Yes.
Call it novation. It's not a
they look at the novation as a new contract.
Which is wrong.
No, but let me ask the question. That's why I will repeat the question. I will repeat the question. In the circumstance where we had to put Maripoma project on the Nsawam Road, on the Big Push, and the Cape Coast one on the Big Push, is it being suggested to us that because we're going to do a new thing, so to speak, we should have been sent there?
No, hold on, gentlemen, hold on. One second. The question he just asked, does it not suggest, Atabedu, that this is where you can speak about the permission for issues including compatibility for sole source or single source?
Can I just
wait. Let me get the expert.
Quick one.
Okay, wait. Come now, wait. Yeah.
You see, he talks about the Maripoma.
Yes.
When we requested the data, and they gave us the data, they indicated here, Suhuyini, here is it. Ongoing projects.
Yes.
The Maripoma contract you talk about is here. Let me just yes, it's here. Maripoma Enterprise is here. So sourcing. The date of award. The date of award is indicated here. 5/23/2022. So the data you gave us did not include this as part of the 107 that we are talking about.
It's an old contract.
It's an old contract, and your old document says ongoing project.
Yes, but the 23 projects are ongoing.
Don't come and use
that we have put on.
So you don't use that to now say that if we re-awarded it, because this document says you didn't re-award it.
You took it over.
And we didn't include this.
You have to find a way to pay for it.
What I'm saying is that you in your own categorization, you listed 23 projects that the minister has already indicated were novated. I know the lawyers have an issue with the term used, novated. But the point is that the minister has made the point that they were taken over. And in your own data, you showed us that out of the 107, 23 of them.
No, we didn't say that.
Okay, so
which one is it? I'm saying that you gave us data about ongoing projects,
yes,
which we excluded from the 107. The 107 was data you gave us indicating the award dates being dates when you were in power.
Yes.
Any contract that had dates preceding you in power was excluded from the 107.
So it's the one you awarded which is being discussed.
No. You see, when I go to the fourth estate, I've read some of your publications, and it is there. We can go right now. You have that table of the 23 that were ongoing. You have the 81 that you broke down to be the new projects. It's on your website now. And I'm saying that the 81 that are new projects, even in that also, you clearly indicated that some of them were selectively tendered. But then you lump all of this together and say 73 billion is procured through sole source. I mean, so are you saying that these ongoing projects, these ones that we are saying you separated, is not part of the 73 billion?
That's what he said.
That's what he's saying.
Is that no? Let him answer that. Are you saying that? Are you saying that these ones are not part of the 73 billion?
These
Sulemana, is that what you are saying?
These ones
are not part of the 73 billion.
The 73 billion. These are not, and you can check the document.
Yeah, I will go through it. But you see, let me also address. Let me also address, please, before you ask those questions. Let me address a number of things that also came up. You see, he spoke about Kumasi Ring Road, and then he says it's put into lots. And one contractor is doing it. Yes, Tamale Ring Road is put into lots. 3 different contractors are doing it. So I'm saying that this conversation is important. It should be had, but with an open mind, not with nitpicking and not with a deliberate effort to criminalize. No, it should be had with a mind to improve what we ourselves are also seeking to improve upon.
The reason why we don't have
again
is because we don't trust
breaking the bulk. Is that also not against the procurement rules?
Yes, bulk breaking is against the rules.
Is that what is happening here?
No, it depends.
Is that what is happening here?
It depends.
It's not
an
breaking.
indication. Yes, it depends.
Yes,
breaking the bulk is to avoid the threshold.
No, so
then
this one we didn't have a
error.
Threshold.
This one it wasn't about threshold.
Thank you.
So
yes,
what I said about breaking it is that.
Yes. But let me make the point. Let me make the point.
Wait. No.
I will allow you to come.
No. Hold on.
But the point,
everybody hold on.
You see, the ring road is another matter. Then you talk about the Dodo paper soup. And you say that simplistically. And you see, there may be issues. There may be issues. And I'm interested in us having a conversation that will help us all resolve the issues. But when you make it very simplistic, and it seemed like an intense, a desperate search for a scandal when none exists. It seems like, I'm sorry, it seems like.
No, use an example.
I'm sorry.
What is this?
So when we look at Dodo Peso,
yes,
and then you say that, it was originally constructed with 25 million.
Yes, 5.9.
Yes. 25.9 million.
Which is a fact.
And it's not renovation, a rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation cannot cost more.
I am not. Wait a minute. I'm saying that. Look, Samson. I'm also going to be very simplistic, because I find this simplistic. The motorway was done at about £4 million.
2 lanes.
British.
2 lanes.
Yes. Today it's costing at 350 million.
10 lanes. That's difference.
I mean, so but you see, I can. That's
that changes.
When you want to
with multiple changes, this argument it doesn't wash.
There may be issues, but how we approach the conversation, how we confront the operation, the conversation is what will help us all lead to the resolution of the issues that may even be inherent. But I'm saying that when the conversation is hard as if to suggest that, look, nothing positive is being done. Look, we are not saying that this is a perfect situation. We didn't inherit one. We didn't inherit a perfect situation. But we are making efforts to improve it. And in the process, we cannot be 100% right. No. But you see, what we need is a cooperation with civil society and conversations like this that will help us improve whatever may be found to have been, not yet gotten right.
I like your admission that you cannot be 100% right. I like your admission. But it is at a cost. And the cost is what we can't stand.
Yes, but you see,
we can't stand it.
When you say that we should approach this conversation with an open mind,
yes.
And we are approaching it with an open mind.
Yes.
There is no difference about what is undisputable on the table.
Yes.
What is undisputable on the table is that a government in its first year awards 15 months in government. You award in excess of 70 billion contract in sole sourcing.
Now, so let me.
That is in that is being contested.
No. Hold on. Now let me pick it from here. Can you confirm this document?
Yes.
Can you confirm this document?
This is the commencement authorization from the finance minister.
Thank you very much.
For which project?
So you have seen
for the Big Push project.
Okay.
Yes.
In the last paragraph of this letter.
Yes.
Clause 7. Yes. It says Please note,
yes,
the commencement authorization of 15 billion is a multi-year amount, and the component of 7.6 billion expires at the end of the financial year, which is 2025. It means at the end of 2025, you couldn't have spent more than 7.6 million. Now, this multi-year financing says that in 2026, you can spend only 30 billion. Put together, it means you can spend only 38 billion between the 2 years. Now, we are in 2026, it's not ended. Now, you have committed 73 billion. Explain to me, wait. Explain to me how you have been able to go above your commitment authorization. And let me draw your attention to the fact that the Public Financial Management Act says that you can't do this. So I need the finance minister to come and tell us what he's going to do about it.
So let me explain to you. So you see, first of all, there was another matter I wanted to address, the issue of the offices, the what do you call office?
Value for money office.
Look, value for money. You can question all of these things, and we can have a conversation as to how they can be done better, moving forward. But the truth is that over the years, yes, we are doing that, and we are doing that.
Please don't interrupt.
Yes, over the years, many of these agencies have always, used, road projects to build capacity, and so as part of this big push project, our intention, because we are complaining about poor supervision, the lack of presence of the engineers, so we are taking advantage of this government investment so that we can build, for example, the Savannah region and other regions, that there are new regions that don't even have highway offices, they don't have feeder road offices. Now, as part of these contracts, some of these things were recommended by the engineers. And remember, this is not a design and build. This was done, the designing and costing was done by the engineers at the ministry and at the agencies. And they decided that, look, they can use some of these things to also help build their capacity.
Are you suggesting that the engineers have built this capacity building into the contracts?
I'm saying that it has always been.
That's why I want a yes. I want a yes or no.
I'm saying that it has always been.
Do we know that it is wrong? I am saying
it has always been.
Do we know that it is wrong?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When we want corrective,
now let's have
improvement. Our conversations should be seeking corrections moving forward. But I'm saying that it has always been, and it is not missed. Yes, but we are
guys,
and I'm proving to you that we have made improvements. And I'm saying that,
guys, don't let it sound like you are heckling him. Please hold on.
You see, look at. When you look at this, the question you asked, this is not the only authorization that the finance ministry has given. This does not include the novated contracts, for example. The values for the novated. That one was also given a different authorization. This doesn't include all of them.
So that takes me to the second question I was going to ask you on the novated contracts. Now, my basic understanding of a novation is that you transfer the obligations of a contract and the benefits of the contract to another party. Now, in this case,
necessarily,
I'm coming.
No,
not necessarily.
No, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming.
That's why I'm saying.
Now, the question I want to ask:
I'm not
has the employer?
I don't want to argue about the
whether it is GOG or it is whatever it is. Has the employer in this instance changed?
No, it shouldn't.
It hasn't changed.
Yes, yeah, but it shouldn't.
Yes, it shouldn't change because we, as a government, you inherited liabilities and assets. But you now determine how you want to treat that liability. And because you are changing the treatment, of the liability, then you have to do a new sort of agreement.
Yes.
And that is how come it looks like a new agreement, but it isn't.
Okay.
It is not.
Okay, thank you.